Hi, this will be a quick tutorial on how to navigate within the screens of Digital Measures. In Digital Measures, the login procedures and the credentials that you need are still the same as your portal credentials for UNA. When you arrive at this screen, go ahead and type in those credentials. Click Login. Whenever you arrive, you should see a screen that looks similar to this. Take a moment and scroll to this screen and familiarize yourself with the different sections. First, we have General Credentials Expertise, Career Information, Teaching and Mentoring, Scholarship and Research, Service, and Administrative Data. We will briefly go through each one of these sections in order to describe the different functions on how to input data. First, though, I want to look at the very top. This is the toolbar. Now, you may not see workflow or tools, but that's okay. What you should see is activities and manage activities. And then you also should see a reports function. Now let's look at one important tool in the toolbar, this question mark. If you have any questions about digital measures or concerns, or if you're looking in the data, the permanent data, we'll talk about that in a minute, and you need to change something or you think that data is incorrect, then please click on this question mark and click Contact Us. Right now, this email is set to come directly to me, but in the future, it will come to our office. And there will be 3 or 4 of us manning this email, and we can answer your questions in a timely manner. Please do not email outside of the system if you have questions about digital measures. This is the best way to reach us and make sure that we answer your question quickly. Okay, let's look at a couple of other things up here. Click on the Review a Guide. Now, this guide is a general overview of all the different functions within digital measures that you will need to import data, such as the Add New Item, the Import Item screen. It really goes into a great job of detailing what these functions are for. You'll hear us talk about the Pasteboard in a moment. So please use this resource, every time that you need to probably answer a general question about digital measures, or, if you need to just kind of look up and say, now what does this do again? This is a great resource. Again, if you can't find the information that you're looking for, click on that question mark up at the top, and we'll be glad to answer any questions that we can about the system for you. Now let's go ahead and get started into the different sections. Let's look at General Credentials and Expertise. Go ahead and you can click on different screens here. This is data that you can import. So let's just click on Brief Biography. As you can see here, I've kind of just played around in this test atmosphere, but you can answer these questions, input data, and also these text boxes expand so you can type an unlimited amount of characters at the moment. And once you have your data imported, let's go ahead and just do something for an example. You can click Save, and it brings you back to the general screen. Now, go ahead and click on several of these different screens. Kind of just get familiar with what's in there. Now, all of the data that was in Sedona, our previous faculty credentialing software, has been imported into digital measures. With that said, there are a lot of fields within general measures that were not in Sedona. So if you find that your data was mapped incorrectly, meaning that it was brought over into a field that you don't think quite fits the data, then we ask that you please just move that data from one field to the next. You can copy and paste, you can re-enter if you would like. If it's an overwhelming problem and you think that all of your data is incorrect or a majority of your data is, then please again, click that little question mark and let us know. Okay, go ahead and click Licensures and Certification. I want to talk about a couple of functions at the top. The first function that I want to talk about is the Add New Item. Go ahead and click on that. When you add a new item, it's pretty generic. You're going to add information there. Some of the fields, if they're required, they'll have a little red dot beside it, and we'll look at that in just a moment. Also, a lot of screens have an upload field where you can upload files, PDFs, Word documents. Some fields also have links so that you can store web links so that if a reviewer is looking at your content, they can just click on the link and it takes to an external source. So that's also available. For right now, I want to go ahead and save and add other. Now, save will just save it and take you back to the screen. Let's just go ahead and do that. I'm sorry. So let's just click save. And this is really a key here. So digital measures, the reporting function in digital measures is governed by year. So a lot of things, whenever we pull reports, you'll see that it asks you to enter a date range. Do you want to pull a report for the past 5 years, for the past 10 years? So it's really important that whatever records that you enter, that you always enter dates. Now, I clicked save, and when I did that, it brought me back to the list. Now, every item will be listed here, and there's one function that I want to go ahead and show you while we're in the list view, and that is the duplicate function. So let's say I have an award that I won in 2017, or I have a certification. I get that renewed in 2018, and it may be a little bit different. I may have added on certain criteria to my certification, and I want to just kind of duplicate that because I don't want to write the entire thing over again. I can simply click on this box, click duplicate, and it opens the screen to allow you to make adjustments. I make those adjustments, and then I click save. And there we are. Now, if I would like to add an item, let's say I'm adding several items at one time, and I don't want to go all the way back to the list screen, I can simply click Save and Add Other. When I do that, it wipes the screen, it does save my last entry, and it brings me to a clean screen where I can continue to input data. Okay, there's our list view. Another function, you can go ahead and click back out into your dashboard that I'd like to mention, is the Pasteboard function. Now, if you click on Pasteboard, you can go ahead and do that. It brings up kind of a note area. This is really handy in case you're wanting to copy and paste large amounts of information and you're just wanting to copy over into fields within digital measures. This can come in handy. You can paste all of your information here and then simply just copy and paste or drag and drop into the fields. So we're going to go into a screen here. Let's go into publications. Let's say I'm wanting to add a new item. So if I had all of my information here, I could just drag and drop into the boxes. So that's a way to use that function. Okay, while we're here, I do want you to kind of take note of the red asterisks beside these fields. Those are required fields. You can scroll through the screen and see a little bit. In just a moment, we're going to actually watch a video about how to import data into these fields through external sources and also manually. So let's go back out to our main screen. Okay, you can click through several different screens in the general credentials area and let us know again if you have any questions. You can definitely click that question mark at the top. Now let's look at career information, professional positions. So again, it gives us a list view. And again, we have those functions that are similar that we've already reviewed. If I want to add a new item, simply click Add New Item and fill in the information. Okay, let's go back out to our dashboard area. Again, you can click through these screens. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but just know that if you have questions, click on that question mark and we'll be glad to answer them for you. All of these screens have similar functions. I'm going to click on the Teaching Innovation and Curriculum Development. And as you can see, they each have very similar functions. Remember, start date and end date are very important for report pulling. So we ask that you always fill in the date for the data that you input. Okay. Let's go through scholarship and research. We've already clicked into publications, so let's click into intellectual property. Again, the functions are very similar. Click Add New Item, scroll through there, kind of make yourself familiar with those fields. And remember that these functions at the top are also similar to what we've already reviewed. Okay, so we can also go through university service, and as you can see, there's a list view and still the same functions. Again, if this information is incorrect, we ask that you go in and correct the dates or correct any information that might have transferred over into digital measures from Sedona that may not have been correct, or if you have issues, we do ask that you take the opportunity to try to fix those issues first. But then again, if it's an overwhelming issue, you definitely can click on the question mark and we'll be glad to help you. Okay, so those are the main areas at the top. So general credentials, career information, teaching and mentoring, scholarship research, and service. Those are the areas in which you are able to go in and input information, in which you have read and write access, meaning that you can write into the fields, you can input data, but there is one area down here called the administrative data area, in which you cannot write in the fields. And we've done this on purpose just so that we we have data integrity as far as our reporting purposes for SACs. And this information here is controlled by the Vice President of Academic Affairs office. So with that said, if you click into personal and contact information, for instance, if you see this information and you see that there's something that is incorrect, again, please click on the question mark and we'll be glad to look at that for you and get that corrected. As you can see, these are locked fields or either read-only fields, so you will not have access to enter this information. There is one exception to that rule, and that is the scheduled teaching screen. So if you would, go ahead and scroll down to that administrative data area and click on scheduled teaching. I do not have any items listed here, but if I did, I had a new course, I could simply click into the course and I would see this information. Now again, these are read-only fields, and each semester this list is uploaded by the provost office. And so each semester you'll see this kind of auto-populated. Again, if there's any questions or if the information is incorrect, we ask you to click on that question mark and let us know about it. Now, there is one field, like I was saying, there's an exception here, that you will have access to and the ability to upload into the system, and that is the syllabus for this course. You can click on this link right here or this upload box and upload the syllabus for the course. Now, with that said, there's no need to go back and try to get and pull syllabus in for each of the courses. That will be done by digital measures automatically. We do ask that from this point forward, however, that you go ahead and load that syllabus for your courses. Also, let me go back into that add new item. You will see a field here that populates within the next week or so. So if you're watching this training video after, you'll probably see this field. There will be a course evaluation, the student course evaluation upload box, and that will also allow you to upload those evaluations each semester for that course. And we ask that you do take the opportunity to do that each semester and to keep this file as updated as possible. Okay, I'm going back out to my dashboard area. So let's review just one time. And I know that you've heard this several times, but if you have any questions, again, click on that question mark. We're really wanting to make sure that we stress that because it does go to one central area. And that way that your request doesn't get lost in our email or anything like that, that we can really focus on a workflow to make sure that we answer your questions as quickly as possible. And we also want this to be as easy and painless for you to enter information and to get your information into the system correctly. So definitely you just utilize that resource there. So let's review really quick the review guide. That will definitely help you if you have any quick answers or any quick questions. It will help answer those questions. We have areas at the top, the general credentials, career information, teaching and mentoring, scholarship, research, and service, that you are able to enter information and input information. And then you have the administrative data at the bottom. You are able to input information or upload a syllabus rather into the scheduled teaching screen, as we have already looked at. But the other data in this area, you are not able to edit. Again, if there's any information here that you feel is incorrect, please click on the question mark and let us know about it. Okay, we're going to talk about another area really quick, and that's the rapid reports area. So go ahead and scroll all the way to the top, and you'll see that the toolbar, Rapid Reports, and click on that for me. Now, when you see this screen, you'll see two options. You should see a yearly data report and then also a VITA. So for now, we're going to go ahead and click on the VITA in the drop-down box. Make sure that you enter a start date and an end date. So for the sake of this training, let's just say we want to go back 5 years. Go ahead and click that, get that set up. And remember, in reports and in reporting and digital measures in general, this information here is very critical, the date. So start date and end date. So let's say you're wanting to run a VITA for the past 10 years, then you would put a range of 10 years here, or 5 years, or 2 years, or let's just say 20 years. You know that you have publications that have dates going back to 1980. You definitely want to, or 1990, you definitely want to include that information and include that date range. So it's very important that you look at your dates when you're running these reports. Otherwise, you'll have information that you're expecting to be there that will probably be missing from the report. Okay, so once we get our dates set, let's go ahead and click Run Report. It should come up as a Word document or a PDF, whatever you selected. We're going to go ahead and open that. And look at it really quick. Now this is mine. You're not going to see much here, and you can see my little edits here that I did. But what you should see here is a great overall view of what is in digital measures, the data that's there. Now, please keep in mind that you can edit this Word document as much as you like. However, that information is not going to go back into digital measures immediately. You have to go, if you see something that's wrong here, let's say, oh my goodness, this is wrong. I need to correct that. I can definitely correct it here, but I definitely need to go into the system, back into digital measures, underneath licensure, and correct that information from here. So just keep in mind that what is pulled here, if you update it, it will not update to the system. You have to go back into the platform and update that data. Okay. So that's the Rapid Reports function. And if you have any questions about that, or if you feel that your reports are not running correctly, then please let us know. Okay, we're going to watch a quick video in just a moment, and we're going to look at our publications area. So go back to your dashboard, click Scholarship and Research, and then Publications.